Hi, hello, very good morning to all my dear students. Welcome back to RV online classes. So today's class is for fourth standard, as you all know, and in previous class we were discussing about fifth lesson, that was kaleidoscope. It was kaleidoscope. So I have told you in previous session only that the lesson number five kaleidoscope is completely about the new inventions, right? And I have told you what is invention and what is inventor, right? Invention is something that someone has planned to do for the first time, whereas in an inventor sees a problem and finds a solution. I have gave you example of this marker, right? So the main characters of this lesson are narrator, nothing but storyteller, emperor, palace sage, inventor 1, inventor 2, inventor 3, and inventor 4, sign carrier, and other inventors. Nothing but wise men and women or the palace attendants. So Emperor will call all the wisest and cleverest men and women of of the empire to invent something useful. So he will tell all the people that you have to go away for 10 years. After coming back 10 years, you have to come with your new inventions. So after 10 years, there will be a huge queue in front of emperor's home. So he will, palace sage will be calling the serial numbers. When he calls numbers, inventor one has invented that what do you say wide wind wipers for spectacles, right? Inventor one invented windscreen wipers for spectacles, whereas inventor two invented that square tomatoes, and inventor three invented that pencil, the sharp one that sharpens the pencil itself. And finally, inventor 4 has invented that kaleidoscope. So all these inventor one, 2, 3 didn't won the prize. So we have stopped till here, right? Whether inventor 4 will get the prize or not, and what actually kaleidoscope is, right? So narrator: one man had invented the kaleidoscope. Inventor 4 hands his kaleidoscope to the palace sage, who then hands it on to the emperor. Narrator says that one man has invented the kaleidoscope. Just have a look on that. So inventor 4 will hand over his kaleidoscope to the palace sage, who will hand over that to the emperor. Emperor, what is this? Emperor will ask to the inventor 4 that what is this? Inventor 4, you look through it. Inventor 4 says that just you have a look on that, you will understand what it is. Emperor, it is a telescope, is it? Well, I'm afraid that telescopes have already been invented. Hard luck. Goodbye. Next one. He says that it is looking like telescope. It is telescope, right? He will ask to the inventor for. Well, I'm afraid that telescopes have already been invented. Hard luck. Goodbye. Next. He says that already it has been invented. Why you are invented this one? I think it's your hard luck. Just go away. He will call the next one. Inventor 4. No, it's not a telescope, but you do look through it. No, sir, it's not a telescope. Just have a look on that. Inventor 4 will say to the emperor, what's the point of looking through something that looks like telescope but is not a telescope? He says that it is looking like same as telescope only, but what is the use of looking the thing which looks like as same as telescope? Is not it a telescope? He asked that telescope alva idu. So he will ask to the emperor. So what do you mean by telescope here? Telescope, an instrument in the shape of a tube instrument in the shape of a tube in the shape of a tube with special pieces of glass inside it. Pieces of glass inside it. This is what telescope here. An instrument in the shape of tube with special pieces of glass inside it. It is an instrument which looks like a tube, and it will be having a pieces of glasses inside it. So what do you mean by kaleidoscope? A kaleidoscope is a kaleidoscope is a tube with colored pieces of colored pieces of glass inside and mirrors along its length. When you turn the tube, and look into it one minute. You see colorful changing patterns. See here, what is kaleidoscope? It is a tube with colored pieces of glass inside and mirrors along its length. When you turn the tube and look into it, one end you see colorful changing patterns. This is what kaleidoscope. So what is telescope? An instrument in the shape of a tube with special pieces of glass inside it. What the king will say to the inventor for? I think it's look like a telescope, so I don't want to see it. Already it has been invented. For that, inventor says it's not a telescope, but you do look through it. So he says that just have a look on this kaleidoscope, you will understand. Emperor, what's the point of looking through something that looks like a telescope, but it's not a, isn't it a telescope? He asked that it's looking same as telescope. Why should I have a look on that? Inventor 4, you look through it, then you twist it and move it, and before you know what's what, you find yourself saying oh, or another day you might look through it and find yourself saying ah. And I have tell you that, and I have to tell you miss this, sorry, you this. Sometimes people and find themselves saying oh and ah all the time. What in metaphor will tell to the king? You look through it and you twist it and then move it for before you know what's what. So before seeing outside only, just have a look on that. When you see on this tube, just have a, once you turn this and you know what it is actually, you find yourself saying oh, or another day you might look through it and find yourself saying one fine day when you are seeing this, you may feel that, oh, it's very nice, and you may say that ah also. And I have tell you this. Sometimes people find themselves saying oh and ah all the time. Sometimes people will say and they find themselves that saying oh and ah. He says to the emperor. Emperor says that, but what's the use of that? I asked for inventions that are useful, not for the some stupid little things that makes you funny noises all the time. Thank you, goodbye, next one. So what he says, when inventor says, everyone wants to say oh or ah. For the sometimes they will be find themselves saying like that. For that, emperor says that I don't want the stupid noises from anyone. I want useful inventions. He says that goodbye. You call just next one. Inventor 4 again he says that just try it. Emperor, oh, if I must, he says that I have to see means let me see that. Narrator. So the emperor picked up the kaleidoscope. He switched it and turned it, moved it, and he looked through it. And when he saw all the colors of the rainbow glowing there, and when he saw all those patterns changing over and over again, he said, oh. So when King was saying that it's not at all useful. I don't want to hear the funny noises from the people. I want the useful inventions. When he says like that, again, inventor force says that just have a look on that, you will understand. So what he does? So the emperor picked up the kaleidoscope. So emperor will pick up the kaleidoscope. He will start seeing that. He twisted it and turned it, moved it, and he looked through it. So finally, as he said, he will start looking around that. He will turn the kaleidoscope. He will what do you say? Turn that. He will twist that. Everything he will do. And when he saw all the colors of the rainbow glowing there, and when he saw all those patterns changing over and over again, he said, oh, he will be twisting that. When he was twisting that, there will be a multiple of colors changing into that. Can you see this? See. Once when he see, it will be visible. For the next time, it may look like this and like this also. This is what kaleidoscope was doing. When he was checking that by turning, twisting, he was seeing that patterns changing the colors and the shapes over and over again. Finally, he said, "Oh, right." Finally, he said, "Oh." Twist the kaleidoscope. He says, he was very very nice by seeing that, looking physically at the kaleidoscope. The meaning of physical is, if you look at it, if you look at someone, if you look at someone or something, physically, you look at them in a continuous way. You look at them in a continuous way. See, the meaning of physical is nothing but when you look at something or someone, you look at them very confused way. So these are all the meanings we came across today. So what inventor 4 has invented now, for that what emperor will say, we will say in next class. These are all the meanings. Telescope is nothing but it's an instrument in the shape of a tube with special pieces of glass inside it. And the kaleidoscope is nothing but a tube with colored pieces of glass inside it and mirrors along its length. When you turn the tube and look into it, one end you see colorful changing patterns. And meaning of physically is, if you look at something or someone physically, you look at them very confused way. So if you have any doubts, please ask me. Have a nice day. Thank you.